I have the honor of working in Los Angeles, the land of multicultural community, for the last 35 years. Grown up in this environment, I am comfortable and adapt easier than others. Or maybe all these years I was able to learn how my culture has affected me firsthand. And now I am comfortable talking about it and have the ability to grasp better when others talk about theirs. This reminded me of my early fundraising relationship I had with an elderly donor who welcomed my visit every month. Our lunch meetings were filled with his family stories, business ventures. On my fundraising side, I shared my organization's latest news, several patients' heartwarming impact stories, and when there were opportunities in our conversation about needs, I would request his consideration to support my hospital. When the donor finally made a verbal pledge, I was so elated and felt I had accomplished my task successfully. I was on cloud nine, flying with excitement, and felt the Lord's hand on this. But my emotion was dampened during my subsequent visits with the donor. You see, the donor concluded that his pledge should accommodate any wish. That is, big recognition with any pledge. When the donor started on this path, I was so embarrassed and apologetic to my boss. I felt the donor did not represent our culture favorably. Even though the whole process sickened me, I was advised to follow through. With God's help and my boss, Marianne's guidance, the president of the Charitable Foundation, we tackled this path together. As you can imagine, there were more discussion until an agreement was finalized. In short, this story ended with a happy donor and lasting relationship. Then there was also an experience that warmed my heart. This donor was very involved and committed. Even though there was a generation gap from my elderly donor, she demonstrated her commitment when she accepted her membership role in our foundation board. No demands, no embarrassment, no expectation were requested for this partnership. That's the true character of my culture countryman spirit. This story has not ended yet because she continues her commitment and support to my organization and its community. Working in the Hispanic community, I have been blessed and a learning experience. Donors in the Hispanic community, just like other ethnicity, we learned that the methodology would be somewhat similar, but results could vary and goals are very different. For one family, their thank you gesture is to contribute their time and distributing toys to the children during the holidays in the hospital's ward. For another, partnership with my organization seems to be appropriate as we address the needs of this community. That's what we did. Partnering with the local Hispanic corporation, we were able to tackle our community health issues in all angles. In turn, they introduced us to the local government officials to better the community. With all the collaboration within our area, we were able to hold health fairs, immigration assistance, health education, provide volunteering program, and others. It's just like a big family where we help and support each other. Today, we continue to have a very strong relationship within the Hispanic community who played a prominent role in completing the 3 million campaigns in 2010. A fundraiser has been recognized as a linkage to our diverse community. Even now, there is still a lack of fundraising professionals who understand the cultural issues important to this potential donor population. There are also many inaccurate preconceptions and myths about Hispanics and their giving, interests, and patterns. While Hispanics are generous donors, they do not necessarily respond to the same appeal as their Caucasian or Asian counterparts might. Likewise, fundraisers too often draw a broad brushstroke over Hispanics without recognizing that Cuban, Mexican, Guatemalan, Puerto Rican interests and focuses can sometimes play a role in philanthropy. Working in a multicultural environment is very complex. Personally, the ministry profession and philanthropies have similar course in reaching out to people. The work we do cannot be considered as one-size-fits-all attitude, nor a cookie-cutter process. To walk closer with God, a Christian has a tool to be successful, the Bible. As a fundraiser, we also have a tool, AFP, Association of Fundraising Professionals, Code of Ethical Principles and Standards. You are able to view this document through the AFP website. There are two aspirations in the Code of Ethics that are my primary guide in my personal and professional life. They are practice their profession with integrity, honesty, truthfulness. Second, foster cultural diversity with pluralistic values and treat all people with dignity and respect. Just like a hub of a wheel, we need each other and create the strength together to solve problems that we have in common. Whether you work in a multicultural environment or not, I believe God will give us the strength and wisdom to do our work with integrity, honesty, and in truth. Minnie E. Finney wrote in her devotional book titled Drawing Nigh to God. She quoted Ephesians 6, verse 5 and 6. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart, as unto Christ, not with eye service, as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart. Daphne stated, a true Christian does not say, religion is religion, business is business, but in his religion permeates every duty and transaction of his life. His whole purpose is to do everything as unto the Lord and not unto the man. Do we sense the importance of performing even the smallest and seemingly unimportant duties as unto Christ? Though we may not realize it, yet by the most trivial acts, God tests our fitness for greater responsibilities. This thought process may take us through a little period for several years to establish, but the results will be worthwhile. Nothing with which we have to do is unimportant to God's sight. We cannot know what future responsibility may depend upon the way we do the simplest, most commonplace tasks of every day. Every opportunity for service, however humble, is in the order of God's providence and should be done as in His invisible presence. Let us pray daily, pray that we may do better work and manifest strict integrity in the performance of those duties which only God may see. I pray that we continue to serve all with integrity, honesty, and truthfulness until the Lord returns. God bless and thank you for all you do.